In today's market, there's one surefire way to increase the amount of new doors for you in your property management company, and that is through Realtor Referrals. I'm Jay Berube with BetterWho, and I'm going to be talking to you today about how to create a consistent and steady flow of new business coming in through people who already know and trust you. Start with a self-assessment, being honest where you are now in your business and how much capacity you have to actually implement this strategy. A lot of companies, it's taken them months or years to implement their sales system. In this video, we're going to focus on keeping it small, just the basic things that you need to do in order to gain consistency and momentum and not to overcomplicate things. Don't try to make it perfect. Now, no matter where you start, it's important to measure your results. So you have to start tracking your numbers if you're not doing that already. Why don't we start in on that realtor referral process? Now, let's chat about that process. The realtor referral process, there's a few different things that you can do and that you should do. If I'm going to be direct and honest, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to go from 0 to 350 doors in 2 years. And then you can follow that strategy or anything close to it. And along the way, I'll also point out some of the things that'll get you distracted and off track. Now, first, leverage your relationships. Join committees. If you have a local association of realtors that you're involved in already, join committees and then ask those people who you should be speaking with. Who are other realtors who have clients who can't sell their property? So focus on those pain points. Properties that are just sitting vacant on the market that they can't sell, or if they're working with buyers that are investors, then those people want to rent out the properties. Understand their ideal clients. Leverage those relationships. Number 2, make calls to brokers. I want you to start prospecting and calling 30 contacts a day. This is outbound, something that most of us overlook, but when I was growing from 0 to 350, I dedicated and time blocked every single day 3 hours, and my goal was to make 30 contacts, 30 people who I actually spoke with, and I was able to have a simple script. Hey, is this Joe? Hey Joe, this is Jay, local property manager in the area. I'm just wondering, who do you refer your property management business to? It's a very simple script, but it opens the door to a conversation. And then based on what they say, the follow-up from that, because yes, you have to follow up, it's very important. The follow-up from that is, I'm going to shoot you a quick email. It's just going to have an overview of what we do. And when you think of someone, let me know. Now, you send them the email afterwards, but also send them a quick text message. That text message will just say, nice chatting with you. I just sent you that email, so take a look for it. Now, one of the things that are going to get in the way is our excuses. Excuses can always get in the way. Other things come up. There's distractions. I have to go do this thing. Think about something else that's non-negotiable in your life. If you have kids, if you need to pick up your kids at school at 3 o'clock, are you going to have a distraction that gets in the way and says, no, I can't do that thing? Or if you had a job that was paying you 9 to 5 and you're supposed to be at that job from 9 to 5, you're going to show up. It's the same kind of thing here. If you run your own business or you have a BDM, that person should be blocking that time and making those calls. Leveraging the relationships, because some of those calls should be high-level phone calls. So contacting brokers or team leaders to either hosting training events, and when I say hosting, speaking at their monthly meeting or having them create a specific event that is for you to train them. And in those trainings, you're going to be adding value, and some of those topics that you could train on are how to sell to more investors. And that's where you can go through certain numbers that investors are looking for, different terminology. And then another topic for one of those training events could be how to lease out properties, or the 411 on leasing. And you go through that presentation, and in there you're giving high level topics and descriptions of what they can be doing to rent out properties. And really, it's just hitting on pain point, and they're realizing when you're presenting that this is not something that they should do. And at the end of the presentation, if you need to hire a property management company, if you want to refer this out, here we are. We're always going to be there for you. Talk about adding value with the presentations. Check in your local market to see how you can get CE certified. Continuing education, all realtors need it. And then that's an even higher value proposition for brokers and team leaders when you're contacting them. So hosting those training events, very important. Following up with the people after the training event, just like after the phone calls that we were talking about before. And then a third way is through exclusive brokerage partnerships. I had a couple of very high level brokerage partnerships. One of them, there were 1,000 agents at the office. And that partnership essentially was, I would pay X amount of dollars per month, and they would provide me with certain promotion and certain opportunities. And now that I had that relationship, I was able to start calling through those agents as well and letting them know that, hey, this is who I am and what I do. The broker placed us as strategic partners for this, so I'm here for you. Just keeping it short and sweet, but having those warmer relationships already are going to make it easier for you to make the phone calls. So presentations, exclusive partnerships, and stay in touch. At the minimum, you should be sending out a monthly email, keeping it very simple, and again, adding value. We will pay you a referral fee, we will protect your client on the sale, and we will give great high-level service. These are the three things that we can promise you. Call to action, if you want this investor spreadsheet, which, by the way, when we're talking about presentations before, having a couple of value adds that realtors can use for their clients are going to be so important. Provide them with the easy button. So let me recap. 3 solid ways to get realtor referrals. Number 1, making those outbound phone calls, scheduling the time, making the calls, contacts every day. Don't make excuses that you don't want to talk to them. People want to hear from you if you're going to add value and solve a problem for them. Number 2, leveraging those relationships and creating the in-person training events. So in-person training events, add value, have a call to action, have those topics. I mentioned a couple of topics that you can use before. And then number 3, have exclusive strategic partnerships with brokers or team leaders so you can be in front of their agents on a consistent basis. Take those 3 methods, keep it simple, and then you'll be able to scale up once you're consistent and you gain momentum. Thanks for tuning in to this video. Subscribe, holler back, find us on social media, and stay tuned. We'll see you next time.